Okay, so we'll start with this. What is processor? CPU, Central Processing Unit. Okay, so here it is. First of all, what is a processor? Processor is a brain of your computer, not kidney, not liver. Okay, semiconductor. Okay, central processing unit. It is a single chip which performs arithmetic and logical functions. Of course, there is a lot of story is there about a CPU. Okay, so I'm not I will go to that points, but meanwhile the simplest things we'll going to complete. So CPUs are look like this. Already I showed. So how CPU are there, not as a cabinet. This is how processors are look like. Okay, yeah, this is better, I think. Okay, so this is how CPU is look like. Important things about a CPU. So that's why I don't use a PPT. If I use a PPT, I will become slow. Okay, so there is a certain specifications you have to look at the CPU before you purchase or before you dealing with a CPU. The first one is what CPU model you are using and what is their speed. Look at here. I'm showing my processor speed. How to check your processor speed? So go to Task Manager, Performance, CPU. So this is my CPU model. Look at here, Intel Core i5-3230M. This is the model number, my i5 processor, and third generation. That model number is that one. And the speed is, the clock speed is 2.6 gigahertz speed. 2.6 gigahertz speed. Okay, and also you can see number of sockets. You know, normal computer having a motherboard with a single socket. Normal computers having a motherboard with a single socket. Only one socket is there. It means one CPU is there. So what is the socket here? Again, the socket. These are cabinets, but we need a sockets. CPU. Socket. See this? It's a socket. The bottom one is socket, is inserting CPU. So this is pure socket. Okay. Once you are inserted a CPU inside, it is look like this one. So normal desktop motherboards generally they are having a single socket. Means single processor you can able to insert it. Means socket is one. Number of cores to logical processor are 4. Nowadays, the processors also coming with a core technology. Maybe when if you don't know computer, but you know the mobile phones, right? When you purchase a mobile phone, the mobile phone models are there, like I better is 870 model now popular, right? Snapdragon 870 5G mobile phone. Recently my brother purchased a mobile phone, so it's a SoC model, of course, but it's like you can see 8-core chipset, octa-core, deca-core, quad-core, hexa-core. Okay, so maybe it's like a most popular name when you purchase a mobile phone in old days. The smart mobile phone they launch with the octa cores, quad cores, then octa cores, deca cores. You know, so that is We can able to see, right? So this is a processor model, and what is the details of processor in a mobile phone, right? Same way, okay, same thing, like a number of cores per processor. This is also important factor. So that is a very old PPT. That's why we are doing. So you have a single processor. Physically, it's a single processor. Physically, it is a single processor, but it is number of cores and number of threads. Bracket logical processor. Threads are secondary in certain specifications, but number of cores is very important in a specification. That's a number of cores per processor, per single physical processor. Just before I showed number of sockets are one in a regular desktop models or laptops. Then what about multiple socket motherboards are there? Yes. Multiple socket motherboards also available. Multiple socket motherboards also possible, where server motherboards having a multiple socket motherboards. Okay. Two socket CPU. So you can see this motherboard which is having a multiple sockets. So two physical processors you can insert inside. Some motherboard having a four processors also you can put it. So usually those type of motherboards used for a server related purpose. Server related. So multi processors. Okay. So someone put a 8 CPU motherboard. Really it is? Maybe they will insert like this or what? We don't know. So we are seeing. Okay. So just to see like that. Okay. Yeah. So again, normal motherboard having a single socket, single processor. But when you see a processor can have a multiple cores inside. Single core, dual core, core to zero, quad cores, octa core processors. Okay, and on each core there is a threads. Okay, so this is a processor model. This is the clock speed and width. What is this width? Is 32-bit, 64-bit kind of stuff. So look at here. It's a 64-bit processor. Not written here, but it's a 64-bit processor. I know. Okay, I will show you that point also. And cache memories. You can see L1, L2, L3 cache memories. L1, L2, L3 cache memories. L1, L2 are a stable cache memories. Always look at L3 cache memory. So compulsory check level 3 cache memory. When you purchase a processor, check the cache memory. So L3 cache memory is good, then more powerful processing is there. So it is subset of this L3 cache memory. Okay. So L1, L2, L3 cache memories are there. Compulsory check the L3 cache memory of a processor. Of course, FSB, that's a front side bus, back side bus is there. So the backside bus is a regular clock speed, that is 2.6 gigahertz. Front side bus is a FSB. Front side bus is a memory to processor communication speed, that we will discuss. Okay. So I will tell that again. Once again, we'll see. Okay. So these are the specifications You have to check it. Not completed, guys. Nowadays, you are purchasing a processor. Compulsory, it must be a 64-bit processor, and virtualization must be enabled. Okay, virtualization technology. Nowadays, we are doing lot of things like a virtual. We are dealing with the virtual machines. Okay, we are dealing with the virtual machines. We are creating a virtual machines. Yeah, I will tell what is virtual machine. I have a single computer. This is my single computer, single laptop. Now I have to show you a Linux. For example, CTS guys are having a Linux classes, right? For example, for you, I have to show you a Windows server. You have a Windows server, basic concept. What is a server? What is domain? What is Active Directory? What is DHCP? What is DNS? Or maybe I have to show you a monitoring tools. But I have a one physical machine with a Windows 10 installed in it. How can I show you a Linux? How can you show you a Windows server? How can you show you a monitoring tools installed in some divine operating system? So virtualization is very useful in that one. This virtualization is like a type 2 virtualization. It's not type 1 virtualization. It's a type 2 virtualization, which is an application we install in our physical machine. So then we can create a virtual machines in this application. Okay. So these are all my machines. It's my Linux machine. It will open. So this is my Linux machine. So if I want to practice Linux, I want to do some Linux. Last class, I told how to do Linux administration, and as well as the DevOps in the Linux also I told to the last batch 17. DevOps in the Linux also I told. So for that purpose, I need a Linux machine. I don't have any other PC. I have only one very old laptop, that is. So what I done, I installed a VMware Workstation Pro 16 Pro in my laptop, and I create a virtual machine. I install Linux operating system in the virtual machine and start working with that one. Your previous batch, like my CTS batch, it is batch 17. I took a class on a on a Windows 10 and a Windows server also. So this is my server. So Win S1 is there now. Win S1 means it's a Windows Server 2019. This is Windows 10 Enterprise Edition. I have a Windows 10 Home Edition, but this is Windows 10 Enterprise Edition. I need Enterprise or a Professional Edition for a practicals, not Home editions. So this is server. This is client. I need a server client environment. So I made that one. I want to practice completely for a batch 7 DevOps for that one. Okay. This is VMware vSphere virtualization. I'm closing other things. Okay. I'm not running anything. Just I show these are the different virtual machines only. This is VMware vSphere. For CTS, there is a virtualization class, type 1 virtualization, server virtualization. Two type of technologies I have to take. One is VMware vSphere or a ESXi technology, and a Hyper-V in the Windows servers. So I installed a VMware vSphere 7.0.1 in my system. I showed how the machine is look like actually. Originally, I need a data center to do this practice, but without purchasing any special hardware, I installed it and I showed the practical to the students. Okay. Similarly, so there is Oracle installed. I want to practice Oracle products installation, like a Oracle database and as well as a WebLogic servers Okay, and the base applications I want to install. I practice installation. I'm very curious to installations and working on it. Okay, how it is the environment. Administration, I like administration. So that's this is Windows 2003, Windows Server 2003, which is very useful for a backup related classes. There is a class of backups are there. So backup types, when you are teaching a backup types, is like what is a normal backup, incremental backup, what is differential backup is. So the 2003 is the best server because we can able to see those options and so when I'm teaching, so I use this 2003 server for backup classes. Okay. This is the Windows XP. See it is my current version is Windows 10 home edition in my physical machine. I'm using old and as well as a new operating system in my same physical machine. Okay, so I have a Windows XP 2003 server, 2012 server. This is a 2012 server, and the Linux operating system is there. Windows Server operating system 2019 is there. 2016 server operating system is also there. Okay, so this is use of virtualization, guys. So it utilize your physical resources. It's not separate one, guys. It utilize your physical resources, and we can create whatever the virtual machine you want to create. So create a new virtual machine. Typical. Next. I want to show you what operating system it support. Like you can install any type of Windows operating system, both 32-bit and as well as a 64-bit operating systems, both Windows 98 from 98 or 95, Windows 3.1, 95, 98, Millennium, okay, 2000, okay, NT servers, 2012 servers, right, XP, Pistas, 7, 8, 10, right, so 2019 server is also there. Different type of Linux operating systems, VMware ESXi, others like a DOS, NetWare, FreeBSD, Solaris, that like that. So these are a different type of operating system you can use. You can install 32-bit type, 64-bit operating system also. Important is your CPU and virtualization technology must be enabled. This virtualization technology must be enabled. You can look at here in this one. Okay. Earlier we have a desktop writing tools are there in a different online things, but now we are unable to see. Yeah, here it is. Take a. You can see here it is. Virtualization is enabled. Base speed, socket, number of cores, number of logical processor, virtualization, and L3 cache. 3 MB L3 cache. This is my processor model, and this is the clock speed. So this is a main specifications of your CPU, and I just told advantage of virtualization enabled for like we can create number of virtual machines in your physical machine with the different operating systems. You can use it, same or different, so whatever it is. So this is one type of application, guys. This is VMware workstation application. Another application is Oracle VM VirtualBox. Oracle VM VirtualBox is a free application, so you don't need to pay anything for a Oracle VM VirtualBox. It is also a very lightweight and almost all equivalent to VMware workstation. Only thing is people who use which type of virtualization application, so they like that one. Okay, very simple. This is Oracle VM VirtualBox Manager. Okay, so this is also we can able to create a virtual machine. This is a machine already there. 2 days back only I deleted the virtual machines from here. Okay, I deleted some 2 machines from here. Okay, and I created another machine and I'll also deleted that one. So this is a free one, so anybody can use it. Okay, simply they can able to download it. Oracle VM VirtualBox. Just if you want to know how to install and all, I have a old videos are there. You can go for it. Okay, so these are the specifications compulsory nowadays. You have to verify speed, how much speed of your processor, model of your processor, width 32-bit or a 64-bit of a processor. What is your cache memory? Importantly, what is your L3 cache memory? Number of cores per processor, number of threads, virtualization technologies there are not. For Intel, it shows like a VT-X. For AMD, it shows AMD-V. AMD shows AMD-V. So these are the very important points about a processor and a few other things also there. So we can add those things also. Guys, understanding or not? Or not at all? Have keep talking.
Understanding, sir. Little bit.
Little bit understanding. Okay. Today new, so first day. Okay, so not a big problem. Okay. But if you have a doubt or you don't get a particular point, also you can ask me. I will repeat that point. So no need to feel shy. Okay. Shy means you are not feel shy to me. You think some people think if we ask a question or if you ask a repetition, other students will feel bad. Other people are disturbed. This kind of stuff is there. So don't worry about others, guys. Simply keep learning. That is our primary GT is you have to learn. So this is a small point is there. That is what is the 32-bit and 64-bit and how it is difference. Okay. Instruction 32-bit. Okay. That is a instruction set. One set of instruction sizes 32-bit or 64-bit in 64 or a 32-bit processor. It's a little bit 32-bit and 64-bit in 32-bit and 64-bit processor. What is that? 32-bit size of the instruction is 32-bit in 32-bit processor, 64-bit in a 64-bit processor. So you can write like that also. Instruction set is 32-bit in 32-bit processor and 64-bit in 64-bit processor. Okay. This is correct. Okay. Instruction size, data bus, address bus, this kind of stuff. The size is there. You know, the first processor Intel is 4-bit processor, then serial number is 4004. Okay, the second processor, I am going with the only two. Second processor is 8008, which is 8-bit processor. Okay, which is 8-bit processor. Later it is 8080, 8086, 8080, 8085, 8008, 8008, 8080, 8081, 8082, 8083, 8085. Okay, so there is a processor called 8085. Then new processor is 8085 architecture. Still we are using this 8085 model only. This model implemented to 808, 80186, 80286, 80386, 80586. So later Pentium model is came. Later Pentium model is came. Pentium 1, okay, Pentium 1, Pentium 2, Pentium 3, Celeron, okay, Pentium 4, Pentium 4, Pentium 5 is not there. So we have a dual core processors. Still Pentium is there. Gold processors also there. Pentium Gold is there. Server Lake processor is there. Different models are there nowadays. Mobile processors also there. Pentium M processors are there. Okay. Gold processor, dual core processor, Core 2 Geo processor, I series, i3, i5, i7, i9, Xeon processors are there. Okay, so this is a brief history of the Intel processors. Actually, I want to tell about 32-bit, 64-bit, but I told something. Okay, don't worry. I didn't tell any new kind of stuff, guys. So look at here. So when 8086 is introduced, the 32-bit processor, you write like this. Intel 32-bit processor represent like this. Intel 32-bit processor represent x86. x86 meaning is Intel processor. Meaning is Intel processor. Another meaning is 32-bit processor. If you have a 64-bit processor, okay, so it is x86 underscore 64 or a x64. Originally x64 is not there. Just for representing 64, people use either 32-bit, either 64-bit or x64 or x64 under 64. You know what is the meaning of this one? It is a Intel 64-bit. This is Intel 32-bit, Intel 64-bit. And other representation is i386, i5. Guys, again, do not think it is a i3, i5 means it's an Intel processor. Sorry, i3, i5 means these processors. No, no, no. This meaning is it's an Intel 32-bit processor. Okay. Meaning is Intel. I means I represent Intel. Okay. I represent Intel. You know, 80586. Last time I heard this processor name 80586. You know, there is a one famous not a web series, it is a TV serial only. Now it is available in Netflix. That is called a Friends series. Okay, in a friend series, there is a guy called Chandler. Chandler got a new laptop. That time only it is very old, Ivana. So that time he got a laptop which comes with a 80586 processor and something around 32-bit, sorry, not 32 MB RAM, 32 MB RAM, not 32 GB RAM, 32 MB RAM, 80586 thing, and maybe 1 GB something about a storage. Disk storage is not even a 1 GB also. Sorry. Hello. Sorry. Yeah, it is 5:30 now. Okay, so this is how bits are representing 32-bit and 64-bit, and different ways of representation is also there. Okay, I'm telling a story, right? So that is in the Netflix Friends. Okay, so Chandler got a laptop. So only one guy is in that one having a laptop. So when he's speaking, he's explaining about his laptop. He told 80586. Meaning is in that old time, means almost I know the computer from I used a computer. I have owned a computer in a 2001. Okay, I know the computer from 1999 after my intermediate. Okay, so we have a computer. My sister computer is Celeron computer. So 2000 time, almost like a i3 P3 processor. So 1996 time it is P1 processor, maybe 95, 96, 97, maybe P1, P2 processor. So 80586 maybe it is 96, 97, maybe 95 time only. Okay, so maybe Windows 1 time, that is. Okay, so what is 32-bit, 64-bit, guys? For every processor there is a bit. What is this bit? You have a processor or an application. Okay, so this is not finished. Okay, so look at here, 32-bit or a 64-bit on processor. Okay, on processor, 32-bit processor is there, 64-bit processor is there. On applications, you download an application. It is application, 32-bit application is there, 64-bit application is there. Device drivers, 32-bit drivers are there, 64 drivers are there. Operating system, 32-bit operating system is there, 64-bit operating system. Okay, so this is your system architecture type. Either it is 32-bit or a 64. Compulsory matches, guys. Compulsory 32-bit, 32-bit, 64-bit, 64-bit. Means you are using a 32-bit processor. Compulsory applications are 32-bit, operating system is 32-bit, device drivers also compulsory 32-bit. Okay, so your system is 64-bit. I am having a Windows 10 64-bit, so compulsory 64-bit operating system, 64-bit drivers are compulsory. Of course, I can use both 64 32-bit applications on a 64-bit system, but there is some adjustment is there. So we'll discuss that one, because I don't know how many people are easily understanding. So compulsory check, compatibility, processor is 64-bit, operating system is 64-bit, application is 64-bit, and device drivers must be 64-bit. Okay, so this is the sequence, guys. Processor is 64, device drivers and operating system is 64, and application is compulsory 64-bit. Next point. Last point about a processor, and I didn't told about any cache memory kind of stuff, but there is a 32-bit 64-bit processor. Nowadays we are getting, there is some benefits are there, so certain features are there, so better to know those features. First point is the first point here, it is virtualization. Possible virtualization technology is there. Core processor means your i3, i5, i7 processors are there, no core technology, and threading, hyper threading is possible. Core processors are there, multi-core processors, multi-core processor is there, multi-core processor is there. UEFI support. What is UEFI? It is Unified Extensible Firmware Interface. Okay. Because of that one, we will get a secure boot possible. Secure boot possible. Okay. Device drivers signature enforcement. It means compulsory use the device drivers, signed device drivers, digital signature is compulsory in a 64-bit features. Okay. One more point, it is, or no, this is only up to here, because WoW 64 is a low level part. Okay, so that is nowadays kind of stuff. Okay, so virtualization technology support is there in 64-bit, guys. So multiple virtual machines you can run on a same physical machines. What is the advantage of virtualization technology, like a VTX or a AMD-V? Okay, advantage is you can run type of guest OS on single PC. What is the advantage? You can run multiple type of guest operating systems on a single physical machine. So these are the advantage of it. Okay, so tomorrow, yeah, I will stop it here because of today is the first day, and you are also waiting for from 2:30 onwards. Okay, so normally class is from 2:30 to 6:30. Okay, today is the first day, so I will just will go once again what are the things we discussed, So PC hardware, technically we discuss PC basic components. Okay, CPU, RAM, ROM, okay, motherboard, hard disk, DVD. These are the different components are there, and how it is look like. Okay, and some processor. What is a processor? How it is look like? Processor certain specifications, and manufacturers are Intel, AMD are main manufacturers, and how to specify this 32-bit evolution of processor names and all. Okay, so how it is 32-bit represent and 64 represent. So what are the dependent of a 32-bit 64-bit, and what are the features of 64-bit? So tomorrow we will discuss about a CPU and some other small components are there, as well as CPU, RAM, ROM, differences, different type of RAMs, different type of ROM. ROM means BIOS, UEFI, differences. Okay, hard disk, like the remaining all components about small information about it. Okay, and already I forwarded one PPT to you. So 2:30 class is at 2:30 tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow class is at 2:30. So start logging from 2:15, 2:20 like that. So by 2:30, 2:35 you be ready. Okay, and I will also be there in a 2:30, 2:35. Okay, any changes I will inform immediately. I will anything like a 5 minutes, 10 minutes late, or maybe something has happened, I will inform. Okay, any doubts guys?